So this is engaging humor level 1, which is like every other path. They're all the same. Here's level 2. Know your sense of humor, connect with your audience, introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Now on every single path, there's one requirement. Do you know what it is? It's introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Every single path has that on level 2 as a requirement. You're going to give a speech about what it's like to be mentored by someone else. It could be any time in your life. It could be a parent, a teacher, and they don't have to have official title of a mentor. It's just someone who cared about you, who listened to you, who guided you, who supported you in being your best, and going forward and having courage. It was a cheerleader, a listener. Now Toastmasters is making it clear that they love coaches, but coaches and mentors are two different things. Does anybody know the difference? According to Toastmasters. I know other people use it interchangeably, but what does it mean for Toastmasters to be a coach versus a mentor? The way they're seeing it is a coach is for a specific task, and that it has a goal that they must meet in a certain amount of time. Yeah. So for instance, if somebody says, I know I'm really weak with body language, you'd say, well, this is what I want you to practice in your very next speech. Yeah. Walk away from the lectern and stand over here and talk for a few minutes, and then walk over here and stand for a few minutes, and then come back to center. And this is to try it out, this next speech. Try it and give it, and by our next speech, and boom, it's very directive. A mentor in Toastmasters lingo is someone who's been there before, who's a resource for you, where you can ask them questions. How was it for you when you did your icebreaker? And they're just sharing with you their own experience of that event and what it's like. And what do you do about this? And they answer you. Now they're not really teaching you, but they're sharing from their own experience. They're being more of a friend and an ear versus very directive. Like when you think of a life coach, someone is going to say, well, what are your goals and when do you want to meet them? Very specific. So a mentor is not as directive and not as specific according to the way Toastmasters is defining it. I'm not saying other people in the world define it that way, but that's the way Toastmasters is defining it. Now, at this point, you are exposed to this first step in the mentor program, and on the next level, when you finish level 2, you can join Toastmasters, the mentoring program, as an additional educational path. It's for everyone who wants to be on it. It's a great path because every club needs mentors, right? And if you've been mentoring people all along, you've been doing this already. So isn't that great? You're just ready to do it. So right here, Connect with Your Audience is a wonderful project. They're all wonderful projects. That project, can you guess what that's about? It's knowing your audience. What is this audience made up of? Men, women, age group, what their interests are, so that when you come to speak to an audience, you know who you're speaking to. That's the intention. I knew I was coming here to talk to Toastmasters tonight, which is a very specific group. Now, if you were asked to be speaking at somewhere else, this project was really great for me when I went to SOMAS, because I said, well, what is the makeup of your people who attend these lunch and learns? You know, well, she said it's about 80% women. They're mostly in their 30s or 40s, so all those kind of demographics. So I knew who I'd be talking to that day. Know your sense of humor is a great way of starting a little notebook where you record things that you find funny. What do you find funny? What makes you laugh? It's a great self-revelation to work with that. Level 3 we've already gone through before on that previous screen, but your required project is called Engage Your Audience with Humor. So I've been practicing some of these things. I've told jokes. I was the chair of a humorous speech contest last fall downtown. That was really fun. The power of humor in an impromptu speech. So in this one, it's a very interesting project where you have a list of topics that you have to prepare for, and you don't have somebody else is choosing for you which two you're going to talk on. And each one you're going to talk on it for 2 to 3 minutes. So that's a really wonderful, challenging thing to look down the road at if you're interested in developing your funny bone. These are the actual electives for engaging humor, and they're very similar to what you have in presentation mastery. There's building a social media presence, create a podcast, managing a difficult audience, write a compelling blog, manage online meetings, a question answer. That's a great learning right there. Public speaking, relations strategies, manage projects successfully. So this manage projects successfully is in a lot of the more leadership paths. You'll see that in all the leadership paths.
Is this like 2 electives and 1 required?
Yes, 1 required, 2 electives. Level 5, you've got 1, I don't know if you can see it from there because it's kind of hard, but it's 1 requirement and 1, you'll see, minimum required 1. Only 1 elective in that whole list. You have that whole list to pick from. It's not like our own manuals where these are the projects and those are them, folks. If you don't like it, too bad. You have to do them all. No, you get to pick which one of all those different projects you want to do as electives. So there's just all kinds of good things there. Now there's that infamous high performance leadership on every single path. That is one of the electives or required in the leadership paths on some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. Now, Cersei and I could talk about this a little bit, but David did the HPL in the traditional program. He's finished his DTM right now because his club downtown, we have 24 members. And it's chartered. He's written a letter to the president telling what a great job David's done. It's handled. But when he did his HPL, he had to fill out all these forms and send them into Toastmasters. Had them signed off. No more. We get all those forms, but it's up to you which resources you use. You have a team, you're completing a project, you have some advisors, all those things are still there, but once you do your project and you do it the way you want to do it, you complete it in pathways and boom, you're done. You don't have to get approval from Toastmasters International that you did that high performance leadership project. I enjoyed it. I did a speech contest downtown, I was a chair, that was it, boom. But there's ethical leadership, high performance leadership, leading your volunteer organization. How many officers do we have here? How many officers? Guess what? You're already doing this, leading your volunteer organization. That means that you're taking an officer role in Toastmasters. Isn't that great? You're already doing it. So the mentoring program is something we've all been doing if you've been in Toastmasters and you care about people. The first project is that sharing about being mentored anytime in your life. The second project, you're reading about the mentoring process and you're signing your, for yourself that you did this kind of self-reflection on why would I want to be a mentor? What am I getting out of it? Unlike I think in the old days, we never got this kind of training. They're asking you to consider that there's always needs to be a benefit to the mentor, not just the mentee. So that's a good thing to look at. Project 3 here is you're mentoring someone. You talk to your VPE about mentoring somebody on a single project. That's the first step. And then once you've done that...
A single project can be a single speech?
Well, single speech. Single speech.
Oh, a single speech.
The second one is mentoring someone. Your VPE sets you up, and you have to be compatible with that person because you're going to be mentoring them for 6 months. That's an actual mentoring project. Well, how many of us have been mentors? Anybody? If you're VPE, it's hard to imagine you're not mentoring. They're suggesting that everyone who comes into Toastmasters needs to be offered 6 months of mentoring. Now, they may not accept it. They may say, no, I don't feel like I need a mentor, because in their mind, it may be that they don't want someone bossing them around or pushing them. But actually, it isn't set up that way. It's just a resource to say, well, how's it going? I saw you signed up for your icebreaker. Do you need any help? You can ask them questions. You can talk to them. You can run your speeches by them if you like. Use them however it works for you. So every club has its own little culture with mentoring, but this is a great project. And then once you've finished your first path, you'll get a designation as Pathways Mentor. That's an additional designation. So if you look really closely at all the projects in Pathways, you'll see that there's so much good there, that all those projects that you most loved in your CC are really there, and most of them are in level 3 of presentation mastery, visionary communication, and engaging humor. But the main thing is to have fun. There's a lot of fun in these projects. If you don't make this like a struggle, but no, you know, I actually think that hiking is fun. You don't have to go to the top of Everest. You don't have to wear an oxygen tank. You could move your way through pathways and have fun at your club meetings. You can be victorious. Thank you.